The following story has been brought to you by StoriesToInspire.org.
A woman, Aviva, related a personal story of how she married her husband against all odds. She said she was the wealthiest girl in her class growing up and was generally happy. That was until her father would return from his business trips. The whole family was afraid of him, including her mother. They were not Shomer Shabbat, and when her mother would ever bring up the topic, her father would immediately shut it down. The most difficult part of Aviva's life came when her mother got sick and suddenly passed away. All at once, the house became a dark place, and the sun had seemingly set forever. Her father took over, hiring a cook to make their meals, and signing Aviva up for extracurriculars, so she would be busy from the moment school let out. She didn't lack anything, but she felt empty inside and completely abandoned. One day, Aviva found herself standing at the front door of a home of people that she did not know, the Levine family, who lived at the corner. She knew her mother was behind her, urging her to go in. "I would like to learn how to keep Shabbat," she said to the woman who opened the door. Mrs. Levine ushered her in with a bright smile and offered her a glass of water. She said she would be happy to teach her about Shabbat. But when she heard her name, she froze. "You're the daughter of Rafi Cohen?" she asked. "If you don't mind, I would rather your father didn't know you have come here." Seems like the neighbors were scared of him as well. Mrs. Levine suggested for Aviva to go to an upcoming Shabbaton with Arachim, where she could hear speeches and connect with Rebbitzins and rabbis who could answer all of her questions. Her father was furious when he heard about her new interest. After a lot of arguing, he said he would allow her to go to a few lectures and take on a few mitzvot, but that had better be the extent of it. Aviva eventually started attending a seminary in Bnei Brak, returning home each night. Rebbitzin Tova took her under her wing, and it was a good thing her father had been so busy with work. The sun had returned to Aviva's life. One day a Shidduch suggestion came up. Aviva was ecstatic. The boy's name was Meir Ronen, a refined yeshiva boy who learned Torah diligently and had taken a similar path to hers in life. However, he had his family behind him, happy to see him wanting to build a Torah home. Aviva met him a few times and was ready to get engaged. This meant she had to tell her father. When her father heard she wanted to marry a yeshiva boy, he became so angry he was practically breathing fire. "You will not marry this boy, do you hear me? The world will turn upside down before that happens," he screamed. Aviva ran out of the house in tears. She called her Rebbitzin, who said she would contact a Rav to see what to do. There are halachot which speak about this very situation, and it varies depending on each circumstance. Therefore, no one should ever act against the wishes of a parent unless a competent Rav is consulted first. The rabbi said the question was too great for him, so he went and brought it to one of the Gedolei Hador. The Gadol said Aviva would be allowed to get engaged, but she should wait a week, and Be'ezrat Hashem all would be fine. Aviva didn't understand what would change in a week, but she accepted what the Gadol said. 6 days later, it was a Tuesday night, and Meir Ronen and his father were driving back from the Kotel. As they approached the Sha'ar Hagai interchange, they noticed a car stopped on the shoulder with a man laying underneath trying to fix it. Meir's father slowed down, seeing a Jew in trouble. He rolled down the window, asking if they could help. The man said, "I don't know what's wrong with this. It's a new car, but it won't move. I've been stuck here for 2 hours, and I can't reach a towing company either." Meir poured him some hot coffee from a thermos and put it into a disposable cup and gave it to this man. Then Meir's father scooted under the car and spotted the problem, which he immediately fixed. "Everything's fine. Have a safe ride home," he said. The man replied in a choked-up voice from emotion, "I have to tell you the truth. I hate religious Jews with a passion. But you guys are something else. For 2 hours I've been stuck here, and not one person stopped for me until you came along. You know I have a daughter who wants to marry a religious boy, but I won't allow that." "What's her name?" Meir's father asked curiously. "Aviva Cohen," was the reply. The two stood there in shock, and then the boy said, "Let me introduce myself. My name is Meir Ronen." When Rafi Cohen realized who was standing in front of him, he hugged Meir so hard the boy couldn't breathe. Then he took out his cell phone and called his daughter. With great joy he said, "We're going to celebrate your engagement to the most wonderful young man in the world, Meir Ronen. I'm inviting you to your party, which is going to take place in our house." Yeshuat Hashem was keheref ayin, just like the Gadol predicted. Meir was meant for Aviva, and although it seemed that the odds of them getting married were very slim, no one was going to stop that Shidduch from happening.
Enjoyed this story? Come again. Bring a friend. StoriesToInspire.org